Hey Warriors, thank you so much for listening in or watching my podcast. Let's talk about everything. If you have not watched part one of this episode, stop what you're doing and go watch it. It's amazing. Now let's hop right into part two.
That's why doctors go and have these specialists. If something's going on in your lady parts, you ain't your regular primary is not gonna help you. You need to see a gyno.
Yes.
And even then, find you someone who's gonna listen to you, but also that you're comfortable with.
Like for me, I went to two different gynecologists because the first one didn't listen. And the second one listened, and I was I was kind of, when I went to the second one, I was like, I don't know, I don't know. But then she was like, no, like I hear you, like, like really. The first I was like, I don't know, girl.
Yeah, because you were trauma. You literally had trauma, and so you carried trauma into those
Yeah.
appointments, and now you're just kind of like, let me side eye you because, friend.
Right. I don't got time. You don't got time. Listen.
I done been around the block.
Nah. Like, and so, but she literally like sat down and was like, "Listen, I believe you,"
Right.
and I was like, and then
Well,
she was like, "No, really, like I believe you."
yeah,
And
that's how it was with the endocrinologist. I was just like,
right,
say that again.
right. And she was like, "Your pain is not invisible. Like you really feel this. Like this. Like you're like yes. Like this is what you're feeling." And I was like, "Thank you." I said
Right.
because all the doctors I went to, it was like you're young. You don't feel the
It's in
same.
your head. Mm-hmm.
And so it's just like, so when she basically did step by step, and she literally walked me through the process of, okay, if this doesn't work, we're going to do this. If this doesn't work, we're
Right.
going to do this. If I go into surgery, because we discussed laparoscopic surgery,
Right.
and she was like, that's my last resort, but if we see that my first option is not working, we can go straight to surgery. Because I'm not
Mm-hmm.
dragging on through this process if it's not working.
Right.
So because I took the birth control didn't work. I
Right.
took the pain medication, that didn't work. So she was like, listen, let's write a list. We wrote a list. She was like, let's go in surgery. I said, thank you. Like, let's
Right.
see what we're really looking at. And we went into surgery and we found endometriosis, we found fibroids, and I was like, I feel seen. Like,
Right.
like, thank you so much. And then that didn't stop there. She was like, okay, we know what we're looking at. Now, what's the next step? And I
Right.
think some people get the surgery or get the answer, but they never get that next step of
Correct.
how to quote unquote cure it or how to help it. Like we always get stopped at, this is what you have. All right, thank you. Thank you so
But
much.
what's the solution?
Yeah, like,
Like I need next steps. Like I'm not at this point. Okay, I got to sit up here and self-medicate to figure out what to do, how to fix this. Because aren't you the professional? Aren't you
yeah,
supposed to be telling me what's next?
they
Okay.
just drop you off. They're like, all right, see you next time. What?
Like high five.
I
Okay. Okay, but we ain't got no resolution here. Okay. Okay.
know.
Plot twist. Plot twist. Okay. We need a resolution, friend. Please.
Like, all right, well, but then
Yeah.
like your journey continues, and then like you said, like insurance is one part of it, and insurance. Ooh, Lord, insurance. Yeah, that whole insurance, that's a whole nother episode because listen, oh Lord. Mm,
Yeah, I've done the research and discovered that I won't. D- mm, but yeah, I mean, but no, but seriously, this is what we're talking about as it relates to like health and chronic illnesses and how the severity of it all. So, do you know that when it comes to heart disease, which is real huge in minority communities and black folks especially, I mean, if y'all asking why I keep saying black people, because am I a black woman? Absolutely. Have I seen this firsthand in my family and with friends and so on and so forth? Absolutely. Stress, environmental factors are a huge contribution to this. But do you understand that If you have diabetes, you are twice as likely to have heart disease, which is why morbidity is a big deal in Black community, especially in African Americans, because again, if you have diabetes, you are twice as likely to have heart disease or stroke than someone who doesn't have diabetes. In 2019, Black people were 30% more likely to die from heart disease than whites. Black women, hello somebody, Black women are almost 50% more likely to have high blood pressure compared to white counterparts. Oh, I believe it. Let me tell y'all, 2025 was the devil, was the absolute. Well, if you was a Black woman and you made it, baby, pat yourself on the back,
Right.
throw yourself a party, go on a cruise, something,
Uh-huh.
because baby,
Yeah.
every time I went to the doctor, they was just like, try to get your stress down, your cortisol down, your stress is hot, da 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 da. I saw a Black woman in America.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
do you know, every single one said, you know what? Do your best. Do the best you can. I understand.
Hmm.
Like, fully, that's exactly what it was like. You know what? Do the best you can. But ironically, I actually do not take blood pressure. I officially got taken off of blood pressure. When I left the hospital, first thing they said was, "You don't need to take no blood pressure pills. You're fine."
Hmm. Hmm.
And it was a couple months later until finally, like, I started tracking it myself, like not taking it and seeing where it was, because ideally they want you between 120 over 80. And I was actually, when I left the hospital, down to like I was like 114, 115 over 60 and stuff like that. And I was holding good at like 120, 124, 130. Like, I was low, I was doing good. And so I was just like, yeah, the specialist, they was just like, this is what you're doing. They was like, yeah. I was like, they were like, when's the last time you took it? I was like, here.
Hmm.
And I showed them the bottle, and it was how much was in it. I was like, I'm serious, I'm not taking it.
Hmm.
And they were like, oh, we're gonna take you off of this. You don't need this. Yeah, but how many? But I mean, I wasn't doing anything different as far as lifestyle. I still work out like a crazy person. I still eat the same way, like,
Hmm.
but outside of that, but I don't think I did anything necessarily different to control my cortisol levels, because baby, the stress was real. It's still real, but I think that when we talk about heart disease and understanding that, again, it is huge, and as a Black woman, you really need to be careful about your cortisol levels. That's stress, because it can lead to you having a stroke or a heart attack and not expecting it, and that stuff can happen. And you think because you're young or whatever, how many people are leaving here at 50,
Hmm.
55, 60, and all this other kind of stuff. Like, stuff will sneak up on you and be surprising, and you don't even know it.
Hmm.
And so, don't think that, and see, we'll sit up here and say chronic illness, and people be like, oh, you don't look sick. Well, what does a person with chronic illness look like? So you can walk around and you just know somebody got diabetes. You can just walk around and know somebody got hypertension. Because let me tell you something. It's some teenagers that got type 2 diabetes or type 1, and they look fit as all get out.
Hmm.
I have a college colleague who had a stroke, who died, and that man has 7% body fat. Incomplete, so like fit.
Hmm. Hmm.
What does somebody looking like with a chronic disease look like? You want people to walk around with a oxygen mask and tank and tubes up they nose, so it makes you feel good that you know that this person is sick?
That's what they think chronic illness looks like. You have an oxygen mask, you're in a wheelchair, you have crutches, but
Please. What
that's
if you
not,
have fibromyalgia?
yeah.
Because baby, that level of inflammation that goes through your body, it's like
Yeah.
it's like walking around with instant shock treatment at any given moment. Like, it can debilitate you to the point that you can't walk and you can't move. I got family members who have it.
Hmm.
Fibromyalgia is no joke, baby. That inflammation that sends through your body, ain't no amount of Tylenol, ibuprofen, nothing sometimes can help you through that. That's a chronic illness.
Yes.
And they'll tell you, oh, fibromyalgia is in your head. Really? How? How? Explain it to me like I'm 5. Because where does the research show that? Advocating for yourself is necessary when you have a chronic illness, and don't stop. I don't care if they tell you that you're difficult. I'd rather somebody tell me I'm difficult than to put me in a grave early.
Absolutely.
And now your family has to deal with the loss that you're not here because somebody telling you that something is in your head.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Arthritis is real, and arthritis can set in early. Oh, you're not old enough for arthritis. Let me find something to hit you with it. Because what?
Right.
That's like telling somebody they're not old enough for cancer. What?
Right.
Also, you a medical professional. Show me your license. Show me
Right.
where you went to medical school and your specialty.
Mm-hmm.
Please show it to me.
Mm-hmm. Like, when did chronic illness have an age limit? When did that happen?
When did it have a poster child?
Yeah. Yeah. Like, this is what
Honestly,
chronic illness looks like.
there's no. Do you know that chronic illness can look like somebody smiling, putting a mask on? You know that meme. There's a bunch of them going around where you have this mask for that. They have one for depression. This is the best way I can explain it, right? Where they wear this mask, but inside you dying because oh God, right?
Yeah.
That's chronic illness every day. That's not just depression, but some people with chronic illness every day. Some people struggle to even roll out of the bed to get out of the bed every day with chronic illness. If you have lupus, because I have friends, I have family members who have lupus. Do you know when you get a lupus flare up, baby?
Mm-hmm. You can't do nothing. You,
Sickle cell.
yeah.
I've seen what sickle cell does. I have a family member who, man, having to go down to Miami and get treatments as a child. And they tell you that if you born with, especially African Americans, we're much more higher to develop sickle cell, which is an issue with your white blood cells, by the way, white blood cell count. That treatment is hard on your body, just like dialysis. And that when you have that as a child, that they will tell you it's not likely that you'll live past the age of 10.
Mm.
That's what they said. That's what they told my aunt about my cousin, but he made it.
Mm-hmm.
The power of prayer, God is able. But also, they went down to Miami, going down there to the U, getting regular treatments and doing what was necessary, right? But sometimes those treatments are hard on your body. That's hard on you. Having to get if you have lupus and you don't take meds, but you get injections.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's a whole day. You done. Don't talk to me about nothing. You're done.
Mm-hmm.
I have never had my iron so low that I have to get an injection, but my sister has.
Mm-hmm.
Honey will lay you on your back. But have I had it to, like, I've lived with low iron my whole life, so knowing what to eat and taking iron supplements, so on and so. But when I had that issue this summer with my stomach, that also messed me up for being able to take iron supplements because they couldn't figure out what was going on with my stomach. So when I was taking iron, it was like stripping.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like, okay, we got to figure out how you can get your supplement, your iron in without it messing with your stomach.
Mm-hmm.
Baby, that was a challenge. I was
Absolutely.
sick.
Yeah. Because I can't take iron pills because I'm
Mm-hmm.
anemic also. And so with me, my doctor was like, okay, let's do the iron infusions. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, well, insurance denied it because insurance said I didn't need it. Uh-huh.
And if you don't have a doctor that will fight for you, like when I met the endocrinologist, he was like, no, you're on the wrong medicine. I don't know why they put you on this, but this is not what you're supposed to be on, right? And he was like, I'm going to fight for you to get the medicine you're supposed to have. If they argue with me, I'm going to fight.
Mm-hmm.
But you're going to get what you need because this is not correct. And
Mm-hmm.
you have to understand that insurance companies and those little doctors over there will let you take the wrong stuff for as long as because it's whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's whatever, please.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
It's crazy.
It's really crazy. And so you got to fight for yourself. Like, honestly, you have to fight for yourself because you have to know that there are a lot of different things that affect what's happening with you. Again, environmental factors, like, and when I say environmental, where you live, socioeconomic parts, like a lot of these things affect your like inflammation and like a lot of things that happen to you. Discrimination, yes. All of these things are, and this is research proven, y'all. I'm not just talking out the side of my neck. These are things that have been found to be contributors to chronic illness.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like this isn't just, oh, it was just out here. No, these are things that are really out here that are affecting people's ability to live healthy whole lives. And so, you know, if you don't have clean drinking water, let alone something to bathe and like clean, how do you
Yeah.
think that's going to affect your health? Absolutely. If you got water that has hot lead in it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What? You don't even have potable water? You can't drink that water?
No.
What are we talking about here? Seriously, like these are things that we talk about. These are things that contribute to chronic illness as well. Like how you can't fix or come up with solutions if you don't even know what's contributing to it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right? So, like I said, multimorbidity. How many people ever heard of that term?
Nah, I haven't. So yeah. Yeah.
That's when you simultaneously have two or more chronic diseases.
Yeah.
Right? And it's a global problem. It's not just, a US problem, it's a global problem. Like this again, this is
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of people are dealing with that because I can't afford to go to the doctor. How many people like let's just use that one alone. Leaving insurance, like insurance is part of the problem, but I can't afford to go to the doctor. Want to know why? Because I'm barely working.
Right.
Can't get a job, or my contract got canceled, my job got canceled, CBS laid off a whole department of black folks last year. We saw it on the news. We saw it. Those people without work. And yes, you could probably save up, like they say, save up half 6 months, cushion, and 3 to 6 months in case something happened. Do you know that don't go nowhere in today's time? 3 to 6 months
Right.
cushion is gone in a month, maybe two.
Yeah. Like it's high to live. Like it's so
Yeah.
expensive to live.
Right. So if I can't afford to pay my bills, then how am I? Yes, I'm going to have all these other factors, right? Now, think about this. This one young white kid had to decide between buying his asthma inhaler versus paying his rent. He paid his rent, and like a week later, that boy was dead. They ain't gonna get that rent money back. I'll tell you that.
Nope.
If this is happening to a white kid,
Mm-hmm.
what do you think is happening to black folks?
Mm-hmm.
People in minority communities. So when we talk about people talking about access to this, access to that, access doesn't mean that you're getting it. And if you're getting it, it doesn't mean that you're getting quality care. And how do you define quality care? And are my needs being met? Like you said, are you even listening to me? Do you see me as a human being, first of all? Because if you don't, you're not going to listen anyway. It's going in one ear, out the other. You're going to let that AI machine capture what I'm saying, and you're going to throw whatever notes you want on there later because you don't really care about me. And we're going to move on because you're going to look at whatever that medical book told you is supposed to be the treatment plan, but you didn't really listen to me because you didn't see me, right? And so this is why we have people walking around with more multi-morbidity. It's physical illness now, also mental health disorders. It's not just the physical ones I was talking about: high blood pressure, diabetes, inflammation, asthma, cancer, all this stuff. It's also mental health issues. Anxiety. That is a real mental health. People have they wouldn't have anti-anxiety medicine if it wasn't real.
Absolutely. Do you think it will get better?
Girl, worldwide, I don't think it's going to get better. Here's why I don't think it's going to get better. And that's not me being pessimistic. But look at the pattern. I believe in patterns. And I've yet to see a pattern of change. I see people talking about the need to change, but there's no action behind it. And when there is action behind it, there's always something inevitable that comes along to stop that action, right? There's a woman, for instance, who was on the brink of curing cancer, like really finding it. And do you know that this administration canceled the grant, the funding for that? Because at the end of the day, people have to want to fix it, and greed won't allow that. Healing isn't prosperous. Sickness is prosperous. So, if I put you on GLP-1s, you're on GLP-1s for life.
Yeah, and that's money coming in. You're gonna keep paying for it. Mm-hmm.
Cancer is prosperous. Pharmaceutical companies and if you get kickbacks from them or whatever, whether you're in policy or in healthcare, right? You have a stake in it in whatever way, research or whatnot. I make more money keeping people sick, because if I'm curing people, how am I making money? Where's my income coming from? So we have advocacy, and people are you can go to Capitol Hill worldwide, the World Health Organization, and you can go but if you're going to keep canceling grants and funding for life-saving medicine here or not worldwide, it's not going to get any better, because who's making money? If people are healthy and whole, how am I making money? We have to create the problem so that we can sustain greed, and then turn around and criminalize people for the problems that we create. And this is, again, a worldwide problem. So I don't see a pattern of real change, because you have people who are advocating and doing the work, but things cost money to fix it. And until they figure out how to make money off of people who are healed, and they can't, where's my next income? Where's my next big thing? I got to keep feeding the beast, and to feed the beast is to keep people sick. There's no money in healing. And if you want to go there, we can go to religion. Charlatans. There's no money in. I can sit up here and I need you to be sick so I can make people believe that the power of God healed them. And don't get me wrong, I believe that God can work miracles. I'm talking about the ones who out here faking and making, and you doing all this and all these demonstrative stuff, and people still sick. People ain't nobody got a wheelchair yet, or they back in the wheelchair, and there's no evidence. They go to the doctor and they're not coming back with any report that God did anything, because that's you saying you did. That's your flesh doing that, not God. Let me be clear. Do I believe God worked miracles? Absolutely. Have I seen it with my own eyes? Absolutely. But again, there's so many people that make money off of the sick.
Absolutely.
That's why you got to be careful where you go. Talking about y'all be going to these conferences and getting these healing lines and paying hundreds of dollars for healing. What's the difference between there and going to the doctor? That money you spent going to this person to lay hands on you, could you not have gone to see a doctor? Because nowadays, with the when the ACA subsidies were ending, on TikTok, you saw a lot of healthcare providers, people in doctors' offices calling around getting cash prices. What's the cash price for a pregnant woman getting ready to have a baby? Does this include the hospital visit? Does it include this, and this? Like, they were asking those questions. Do you know the cash price was cheaper than the insurance price?
Wow.
The cash price was cheaper than the insurance price. Here's the other thing. I bet you if you pay the cash price, you're going to get better health care. You want to know why? Because now my doctor is truly diagnosing me and not insurance companies. And your doctor can get the same medicine for you. Even if you don't have insurance, because they were talking about that in the videos too. And now you have all these doctors that now popped up that are offering, I have insurance, but if you don't have insurance, here's the price. Do you know that that's how healthcare used to be back when insurance was nonprofit? That you used to be able to pay like a regular price, a regular rate to get, like, there was like a cash price, and you could go and see your doctor and get in probably a lot quicker and get better care and diagnosis. Because now it's based off of me seeing you, not what the insurance company will pay for. I have literally sat in doctor's offices just in a regular GYN appointment or this, that, the third, or my physical or whatnot. And it's like, okay, I gotta manipulate the code so I can get the insurance company to approve it. If I don't put the right code or I don't put the right language in here, your blood work ain't gonna be covered, and you're gonna have to pay $150 to get your blood tested. The devil is a lie. And his mother-in-law too. I will not. I will not. Right? No, I'm fully serious. Like, listen, on God, on Mary's lamb, on Joseph, on the animals in the stable, the wise men. If there was a little drummer boy, I will not. I will not. Okay? And I mean that. Right? And so there are so many, and I'm seeing this. There are so many people in healthcare who are standing up and saying, you know what, with or without the subsidies, people need treatment,
Yes.
and we're going to give people treatment. So let's come up with a cash pay system of healthcare. I was like, oh, that's how healthcare was before insurance companies. But a lot of people may not, like, this generation obviously is not going to remember that. But I tell you, my generation, my mom's generation, like Gen X and baby boomers, they remember that. They remember that. And you'll get better care. I was sitting here with my aunt when she was here for Thanksgiving. We were talking, like my cousin, we were talking about healthcare and just if issues like is when you're going through the change, when you go through the
Good
change,
range.
going through the change, honey, going through the change, right? So my aunt, she was like, I ain't go through that. I ain't had it. I was like, you sound like my mama. My mom was like, she had it either, but they also had different doctors. My aunt was saying how, like we were saying, how we have to advocate and ask certain questions. She was like, I don't have to do that with my doctor. My doctor automatically says, at your age, you need to be doing this, this, and this. I want you to stop taking this, and I want you to get more vitamin D. I want you to do this, this, and her doctor automatically tells her these things. Whereas me and my cousin was like, no, we got to ask, we got to advocate, we got to talk about this, we got to ask questions, we got to do this, and my aunt was like, ooh, child.
Right. Y'all going
Right? And so I'm like, you blessed. Like I told her, I said, you blessed. She's like, but she's also had the same doctor for, and so like my mom was the same way until her doctor retired. And so when her doctor retired, like it was, she had to find someone else, obviously, and she helped her find a new one. But it's like, yeah, having a doctor say, okay, you're pre-diabetic, so I want you to do this, this, and this, and literally gave her a meal plan of foods to eat, what to avoid, high glycemic versus low glycemic foods, all this other kind of stuff. I said,
Well, that's nice.
you blessed.
Yeah.
You blessed because say what? Like where these doctors at? Wait, y'all, wait, because friend.
Over here, we shrunk.
See, especially get that information around him. Like a regular doctor tell you that? Your regular doctor, not a specialist, this was a regular, like her regular primary care.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, right, friend? And so I think that imagine if everybody got this level of care, whether you had a chronic illness or not, because I believe that we would see a reduction in chronic illness or at least in multi-morbidity in Black communities, right? Minority communities especially, or as they say, communities of color. I think we would see that reduction because now we're being proactive instead of reactive, right? And because once you're on that other side, it's so much harder. But being proactive and like having active lifestyles and knowing how to respect food. I think that in a lot of ways we don't know how to respect food because again, socioeconomically, we can't afford certain foods. Why is it cheaper to eat bad than good.
Yeah.
Right? So if you go somewhere and just think about it, look at the price of lettuce. I'm not paying $6 for a bag of lettuce that look raggedy. Are you high? Absolutely not. Like produce looks terrible, but you want me to pay more for something that doesn't look good, right? Um, Shout out to farmers markets because baby, if you don't have one in your area, I'm sorry. But if you go out to eat, for instance, look at the food menu options, right? If you want an upgraded vegetable, do you know you pay more for a better vegetable, but they'll fill you up with a bunch of starch,
Yep.
high glycemic foods, contributing to why people have the health challenges that they have. Whereas, why is it that, for instance, they'll give you a bunch of mashed potatoes, rice, all that stuff, right? And they'll give you one vegetable. French fries, they'll give you a whole bunch of starch with one vegetable. But if I want, and usually that vegetable is either broccoli or green beans, and most time it's broccoli. But if you want green beans, asparagus, seasonal vegetables that's like squash or squash zucchini mixed with carrots and onions, you got to pay extra for that.
Yep.
If you have, like me, an iron deficiency, me and milk don't get along, right? So I need a non-dairy alternative. I have to pay extra for almond milk, oat milk,
Yep.
any type of nut milk or milk alternative. I got to pay extra for that. Everywhere, right? What if I don't want French fries, but I want a vegetable? I got to pay extra to not have a high glycemic food, but because I want vegetables, I got to pay for vegetables. If I want a salad instead of XYZ, it'll tell you if you want to substitute salad for French fries or for the side item, $1.99, $2.99, $3. What?
Yep.
So if I want to eat better or eat right, I gotta pay more. Make it make sense, right? So this is what I mean by environmental factors, right? Contributing to the health crisis. And it's not just here. When I went to London, and people eat like, my God, the amount of starch. I was like, you got to walk, you got to bike everywhere, you have to exercise in order to manage this amount of carbs. Because I was like, where the vegetables at? Their meat was lean. I didn't have a problem with the meat. The meat was very lean. I enjoyed that part. But baby, I was like, where the vegetables at? Like everything, and I'm so sick. I was like, where the vegetables at? Everything was starch.
Yeah.
Everything on the side was the starch. Rice, mashed potatoes and gravy. Mashed potatoes like
Yeah.
fried, French fries smothered in whatever you gonna put over top of it. Beans, right? Like all I'm seeing is, okay, beans are fiber, but that's still carbs. I see carb, 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 carb. Where the vegetables at? Where the vegetables at? Right? So
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm Caribbean, so fish and grits, baby. Not fish and rice. No shade to Geechees. But fish with side bread, some grits, you know what I'm saying? Peas and rice. We're gonna have some Bahamian peas and rice. We do pigeon peas. Y'all can ain't no shade to the red beans and the kidney beans and rice and other Caribbean nations. Pigeon peas and rice over here, right? So you have fish, pigeon peas, and rice. You know what I'm saying? But yes, my grandmother always still added a vegetable. We always had a green vegetable. And so I learned that my plate needs to be balanced. And so when I look at a plate, and you've heard me say this, where's your green vegetable?
Yes.
I don't see nothing green on the plate. Why is everything the same color brown? I don't see nothing green on you. Where's your green vegetable? Oh, I had a salad. Where the salad at? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't love carrots, but I'm gonna eat it. I'm gonna figure out how to get it in. So I juice it, y'all. Probably bad, and I know it's bad because that's direct carbs, but it is what it is. I don't love carrots, but I gotta get it in, right? Carrots are good for your eyes, but understanding that having a balanced meal and understanding and respecting foods and all these different things matters when it comes to your overall health, right? It's moving your body, but it's not always what you put on your body, what you put in your body. So your skin, all that stuff, putting all this extra stuff on your skin and on your body, a lot of things can be alleviated by what you eat. If you have a high fat diet, you're gonna have diabetes because it's not that all. But if everything is fried,
Yeah.
if you eat fried foods 4 days out of 7, your pores in your body is clogged up. Your energy is most likely gonna be low. Like I'm serious, and you're always gonna be hungry.
Mm-hmm.
You're never going to be sad. You're always going to be hungry because that's what a high fat diet does. All that grease, it makes you feel heavy and weighed down, but it doesn't actually make you feel satisfied. Eat Go a week without eating fried foods. I promise you, you'll feel and see a difference.
Mm-hmm.
You might think it's impossible. Okay, don't go cold turkey. If you 4 days a week, drop down to 3,
Yeah.
and then the next week 2.
Mm-hmm.
When I first started working out my trainer with my last trainer, shout out to you, Britt. Um, for 5 weeks, she took everything. She was like, "All I want you to do is eat meat and vegetables for 5 weeks." That was like, she was like, "Oh, we're gonna do a body reset."
Mm-hmm.
5 weeks, just meat and vegetables. No carbs, no sugars, nothing sweet, no caffeine, no fried foods, no alcohol, nothing but meat and vegetables. She said, you got a 10-hour window, eat as much as you want. I don't care what it is, just meat and vegetables for 5 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And then each week after that, it was just like, okay, after that 5 weeks, she said, I'm going to add one thing on each week. Didn't care what it was. We're going to add one thing each week. Well, the caffeine didn't bother me because I'm not a coffee drinker. So, and I'm not a big soda drinker. So caffeine doesn't bother me. Tea, I do herbal teas. So ain't no caffeine in that, right? So that was not hard for me. So that was easy. That was gone. That didn't kill me at all. That wasn't hard at all. So I'm like, okay, every now and then, yeah, I want my fried fish, baby. I'm gonna have me some fried fish, but I'm gonna do what I gotta do at the same time. So that every now and then I still do that reset. I may not do 5 weeks, but I might go 2 weeks. I might do a 2-week reset where all I'm eating is meat and vegetables. Right? But you feel the difference in your body on that reset. And I leaned out, especially, and then working out with her as well, doing my workouts. You lean out, but you feel better. You have more energy. Your sleep is better, so on and so forth. Your skin clears up and it's brighter. You're gonna go through a detox period. You're probably gonna have a whole lot of blackheads and all that stuff, but that's your body pushing those toxins out. But you go through those things, but understanding that, yeah, it's part of the process. And can you do it if you want to? If you want to. But is it a lot of, if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. You hear me say this all the time. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it. And this is why the numbers look the way they do. And this is why people need help. It's not, sometimes when you have a chronic illness, sometimes it just takes someone else taking it on for you and doing it for you to get you there, right? Now, sometimes understanding that you can lead that horse to water, but if that horse don't want to drink, you can dunk their head in and you can drown that horse if you want to. That horse ain't gonna drink. Because there's a point where you have to want it for yourself, but sometimes you don't know where to start.
Yes.
Okay? And that's fair. That is what it is. Some people are a rescue mission. And when you, depending on your chronic illness, whether it's, again, heart disease, hypertension, diabetes, arthritis, you have some type of lung disease like bronchitis, asthma, cancer, whatever it is, sometimes you need a rescue mission. Because you have to think also mentally. Sometimes you feel like, Lord, it seems like every time I try, it don't work, right? You can do the work, but 2 and 2 is not 4. Nobody's listening to me, so now you're disappointed. You know what I'm saying? You're frustrated and you want to give up. It's important that you have people around you that don't let you do that. Even when you want to, it's just like, I just don't have it in me no more. Okay, but I got you. You know what I'm saying? It's just like the scripture where that one friend was on the bed and they tore the roof off that house and they was like, we're going to get you to Jesus. And they tore the roof off and lowered him through the roof to get him to that hill, right? Sometimes you need friends that's going to carry you even when you can't carry yourself. because sometimes you don't know what you need. Sometimes that you need that motivation and that encouragement. And if you're living with some type of deficit, for instance, it took 20 years for you to finally get diagnosed
Hmm.
or to do something with it, to have the resources or whatever. You got to give yourself grace, love yourself through it, be kind to yourself, and just know that you know what, I'm doing it. It might have taken me all this time, but I'm not going to dwell on what led me here. I'm focusing on I'm doing it right now. Because you don't know, like in our community, again, when you self-diagnose, or if we don't, we think ginger ale is the
Yeah,
cure all for everything, baby.
and saltine crackers, all right? And you gotta
You
watch
better
Maury or Jerry
listen,
Springer on the couch.
listen, listen. How we gonna cure COVID? Better get you some ginger ale.
Right. Right.
Better get you
You better
some
get
ginger
some
ale, okay? Better get you some ginger ale, okay? Because I just knew last summer that I just needed some ginger. I need some good
That's
ginger. Give
it.
me some Burners ginger ale. Did you?
That's it. That's all you need. And you'll
All
be
I need
fine.
some ginger ale, some saltine crackers. Give me some soup, baby. I'm gonna be
Uh-huh.
good. But my stomach said absolutely not. I think
Yeah.
no. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Sometimes you're gonna have to go to that good hospital. Okay, you're gonna have to go to that emergency room,
Uh-huh.
right?
Uh-huh.
You gonna have to go.
Uh-huh.
You're gonna have to go up in there. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. You're gonna have to go ahead and get over that fear. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that it's not warranted, because again, you know historically speaking, there's a reason for that black people are afraid to go to doctors or hospitals any other way. And I'm not negating that, but stop doing that.
Yeah.
Honestly, go until you find that connection, because you're doing more harm to yourself than good. Stop self diagnosing. Black people have lost limbs because you over here self diagnosing.
Hmm.
Don't do that.
Hmm.
Like, seriously, stop doing that. You know what I mean? Like, you're risking more. It's more of a risk not going. And it sounds, I mean, from experiences and all the horror stories, it sounds wrong and it sounds like no, but you got to go till you find that person that you can trust.
Hmm.
And yeah, it might take you years beating on doors and finding the right one, but don't stop.
Nope.
How many people had aneurysms and blood clot from a blood clot, but they didn't know, and they're not here anymore?
Hmm.
Stop, but go. Like, I know that, and I'm being serious. Like, don't stop. And yes, you can be discouraged, and yeah, but you got to have people in your life for real that's gonna be like, I'm not gonna let you give up, even though I know you want to, and I understand why. We ain't doing that.
Hmm.
I'm gonna let you have your moment, but we're not staying there. Feel what you feel, but don't stay there. Because when you stay there mentally, you're not gonna have any desire to get up and do anything and fight for yourself. And if you don't fight for yourself, it don't matter if somebody pick you up and take you to the hospital. If you mentally not there, if you mentally checked out and gave up on yourself, then your body gonna do the thing. It's gonna follow. Because as the head goes, so goes the body.
Hmm.
And it's hard willing yourself to get up. Listen, there's some days I don't want to get up and get out the bed. Everybody has those moments. That's with or without a chronic illness.
Absolutely.
I don't want to wake up to America right now, the way it looked. But guess what? I got to press on anyway,
Hmm.
like it or not. You think people around the world want to wake up to the madness that they're waking up to every single day? No. Have your moment, but baby, get up.
Thank you so much for watching part 2 of Let's Talk About Everything. I hope you are enjoying this 3-part episode. Stay tuned because the next episode airs next Friday. Bye, Warriors.